Hey AJ fans, Professor Fields back here with a lesson on prisoner rights. Now, last lesson we learned about life behind bars, and now we're talking about the rights prisoners have. So basically the 13th Amendment says that no slavery nor involuntary servitude except as a punishment for crime whereby a party shall have been duly convicted shall exist in the United States. So we can't have slavery or put people in voluntary service unless they've been convicted of a crime. So the way the courts looked at it originally was a hands-off doctrine, and it basically said that the care of the inmates was left up to the prison officials to decide what they were going to do. Let them decide. They run the prison. They know what's best to fit the prisoners to make the institution run smoothly. But they also said there's no iron curtain between the Constitution and the prisoners of the country. In other words, just because they are behind bars, they still have some provisions of the Constitution that apply to them. Later on, the Estelle versus Gamble court case, United Supreme Court basically said that the prison officials violated convicts' amendment rights if they deliberately failed to provide him or her with necessary medical care. This prisoner, that's actually not Mr. Estelle or Gamble. That's just a random picture there. But this prisoner sued for medical care because they weren't being provided it, and the Supreme Court says, yes, if you deliberately violate their Eighth Amendment right, then no. If you deliberately not give them medical care, you violate their Eighth Amendment right. The next standard came along was Wilson versus Sater in 1991. The Supreme Court asserted that the institution must show, the prisoner must show that the institution has denied him a basic need, and the Supreme Court at that time defined that basic need as food, warmth, or exercise, and they basically let all the other basic needs go down to the state level and decide what each community decided was a basic need. But remember, last module we talked about Assembly Bill 109 in California, which we also call California Realignment, and Brown versus Plata in 2011 affirmed that medical care is a basic human need. And remember, that was the platform for which the prisoners sued to get the jail reduction. They weren't getting proper medical care because of the overcrowding in the jail. There's some other rights prisoners have that they may not get fully implemented in the prison system, such as the First Amendment. For security reasons, the government, meaning the prison officials, can screen the mail coming in or going out to make sure that there's nothing that's going to be a security risk to the inmate population. Also, the Fourth Amendment, you don't have the right to privacy inside a jail or a prison. So in other words, they can take you out of the cell and search your cell. You do not have that reasonable expectation of privacy, and that's all for jail standards. So you do give up some of your constitutional rights, but not all of them when you're arrested. All right, on to the next lesson. Thanks for listening.